Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, as you read the title, waterproof receivers from Wltoys. Now, here's the thing. I would say it's about 90% waterproof. If you take a look at your receiver box, and for those of you who have Lighthawks for the Blast and the Brutes, check your box too. Where did I put? There it is. This is the new box style that you're going to see. Okay? For sure this style anyways. Now, if you recall when I did my light mod, I mentioned that I couldn't put my regular lights in to the power plugs because they're blocked from glue. Well, that's exactly what they're doing, is they're filling the sucker full of glue, probably on the bottom end as well, but definitely on the top. They're filled with glue. Now you'll notice beside the receiver here, there is no glue at all. What I found in there, however, was basically bunched up double-sided sticky tape. Here's the deal. They don't say that these boxes are waterproof. This is a new one that I just got in today from Banggood. I don't order any of my stuff from Lighthawk because I get it for way less money out in China from Banggood.com. Anyways, so this new box came in today, and it's also full of the same glue. Except this time I got both holes covered instead of just the one. They even put some glue actually down in the servo contacts down below, so it's about as watertight gets, I guess. I've not cracked my cover on this one, and I'm not going to, because they definitely have this glued pretty shut too. This one may be a little bit better than this one, so I'm going to just leave this on the shelf until I need it anyway. Anyways, I was out tonight and I was driving the car, doing some night driving, and I was testing out to see how well my new taillights were working. And they're working great, so I can see them okay at night. I wish they were a little bit brighter though, so I may yet see if I can find some brighter red ones. I might even have some, and I might switch them over for some really bright red ones. But anyways, the bottom line here is 2 people so far on YouTube have come to me and shown me a waterproof sticker on the bottom of their Brutes. Well, actually one said and the other one showed me. Anyways, there's no literature to support from Lighthawk anywhere that they've even made a change saying that they're waterproof, other than you may have a sticker on the bottom that says waterproof. Do not believe the sticker, please. Do not, okay? Even this one here, this is a box from China that I got from Banggood, which was a replacement for the last one that I toasted last year, which I guarantee you had none of this glue in here. So it was definitely not waterproofed by any means. So this is some sort of glue or silicone. Feels more like a silicone really, to be honest. But with that, this one little small area in here that they didn't do, tonight when I was driving I landed in a pothole in the road, and of course it was full of water, and I thought, okay, well, so I walked up to the thing. I didn't think it was that far, but turned out it was pretty submerged in. Now I did get lucky and my servo survived, which is better than what it did last year. And the car seemed to still run for about another 2 minutes, and then it up and died. I had no steering, I had no throttle, and so I came in and thought, man, this kind of sucks because I just got the new receiver and I didn't want to use it this soon. So I took this one apart, and I noticed that they did this whole board. So it's like, well, how did it screw up? Well, as soon as I pulled that sticky foam or whatever it was away from the receiver side, that's when I blew into it and I got a backlash of water at my face. So, and as you can see, there is definitely no silicone or anything down below there to stop water from getting at it. So what happens is if you get your machine soaked like I did, the water is going to creep in through the box and it's going to make its way to that sticky foam, and within a couple of minutes guess what? It gets wet and shorts things out. But it didn't blow anything. I got lucky. So for the last, I guess, couple rounds putting this thing over top of the heater in the house, that didn't seem to do a lot of good. So I blew it all out, got all the wetness out, and then put it under a 60-watt light bulb lamp for about 20 minutes. And now everything seems to be back up and normal again. I'll just hook this up quickly for you here so you can see. I was actually quite amazed, so I'm actually happy now that I don't have to use my new receiver box, because I really wasn't looking forward to using it that soon. So I still got to buy a few more spares, because I have a couple of these machines, right? Now I'll use the same setup. Okay, so we'll turn our radio on. And we'll grab our battery. And we'll turn the power switch on. Steering is back. Okay, so we're back up to 100%. Awesome. Now, what I'm going to suggest, or recommend anyways, carefully pry the lid off of your receiver. Make sure you have a receiver that actually has all this silicone in it. And if you do, awesome. Get rid of that foamy sticky tape stuff. I actually still have a little bit of it I got to carefully pick out of here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this entire cavity up in here, including the back of the receiver, with hot glue, because I don't have any silicone. But this is silicone, and this isn't a high heat area. Over here, these 4 circuits, these are like SCRs or triacs. They actually control your motor power for forward and reverse, among other things they can control, but mainly for that purpose. Anyways, these things are all well protected, which is fine. They've covered them right up to about here on average, so that's pretty good. But I'm going to fill all this up with silicone and that will definitely make this thing 100% waterproof at that point. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And I'm also going to cover up the 2 prongs in here for the lights, because I'm not using these light pods anyhow, so I'm not going to worry about it, you know. Now, so even though you may have a sticker that says waterproof on your Lighthawk Blast or your Brute, don't believe it 100%. It's only 90% covered. The receiver is not. And this is a typical thing I've seen, even with RC boats and stuff. They say waterproof on the receiver. Well, it's not. It's not even resistant. Moisture's in there. You're yanked. It's going offline until it dries out. And because this is your main receiver area in here, this has to be protected. So hot glue will do the trick if you don't have silicone. Hey, you could even mix up JB Weld if you wanted to. Just cover it really, really well and make sure that nothing is going to get back into the seams anywhere. So I'm even going to probably go over this edging a bit over here and go beyond it to make darn sure that it is definitely 100% covered. And then pop your cover back on. Now your cover may not go back on 100% because you pried it off. So you're going to have to crazy glue probably in a couple spots to make sure that your cover snaps firmly back into place and stays where it belongs. So that's another thing that you're going to want to consider there. But otherwise, that's what we've got as far as this whole waterproof, water-resistant stuff goes. And but like I said, there's nothing even on the package from the new one that said waterproof or water resistant, splash resistant, none of that. And like I said, no literature from Wltoys, no literature from Lighthawk, because even in your manuals, they tell you don't get it wet. Now, I also know the servos are not protected at all. And I do have a brand new servo here as well. And I'm going to open the package for you. Okay, this is the new servo. Now, if you want to try waterproofing the servo, you may be able to pull it off. You're going to have to take it apart, of course, because you're going to want to get some marine grease in here. This is not going to, well, actually you probably could plastic dip it, but that is an option. But you got these little crevices right in this area that are kind of open. You need to cover those, and you're going to need to cover the motor really well too, because any wetness that gets in at any of this part at the back is going to, water for sure is going to seep right into the motor. So if you want to avoid that, you're going to have to cover it. Now you can use liquid tape, and you know, I think liquid tape would probably be your best option overall. For those of you who haven't taken off a servo arm before on one of these, I'm going to take this thing off for you just to show you how this thing is done underneath, so you know. Oh, now there's something new. They've, looks like they've gone ahead and done some waterproofing to the servo already. Okay, so I guess we're not taking this servo apart. And again, nothing to say that it's been waterproof, but it's got silicone in here. So it looks like they've got some sort of an idea going on for a form of waterproofing. But it's probably going to be like your receiver. It's going to be one of those 90% deals, because this is still open back in here. So you're going to want to seal these holes up, seal up the motor, and that ought to make that 100% waterproof at that point. Hey, that's something new for me, guys. So, you know, don't jump on me for this, because I've had these buggies for quite a while, and this is like, I guess, the second time I've seen one of these receivers that had the silicone or glue in here, and I never did take the last one apart. I just kind of chucked it. The servos I was able to get apart before, because I actually had one of them. My one that I blew last year, I actually kept the guts out of it. Just in case I stripped a gear or something in the servo. I figured, well, hey, I'd be able to fix this. Sorry for the video going on for this long, but you know, this is good, useful information for you guys. So here's the servo here. And, you know, I had no problem getting this one apart. You know, and what blew in here was actually the little controller. My motor is actually still perfect, but the controller potentiometer, when the buggy got soaked in the water last year, it fried this in here, so that was completely toasted. And of course the receiver was toast too, because, you know, but this one was not protected from any kind of silicone like this new servo seems to be. So this one I was able to get apart, and that one it looks like I'm not going to be able to. So it looks like they're making some improvements here. And that may be due to some comments on their videos, because even I've left comments on their videos, especially with the ones in China where they're showing off the l959 and the l969 monster truck, which is your Light Hawk Brute. Even I crabbed and said, you know, like, how many machines, you know, did you go through to do the video, because these aren't waterproof, you know, because I mean, I myself, I've toasted a few receivers in this. I've killed a servo, at least one for sure, you know, and it didn't take much. And oddly enough, I mean, I have my Light Hawk Brute here, and this one has had its receiver box replaced. So while we're doing this, let's take a quick look, because I'm pretty sure this is still the one before they bothered with any of this silicone stuff inside. And yeah, sure enough, this is the box that you're normally seeing the shape on. Okay, you can't see any sign or any kind of shininess of any kind of glue in there. Okay, and this box would have come from, oh, I think this one would have been from Lighthawk. No, actually this is thinner cabled. This one came from China. The one that's actually in my other brute came from Lighthawk. But this winter, I mean, I've taken this thing out a few times and I never had any problems with it. But mind you, I don't impact them full of snow either, so, you know, I was gentle with my brutes. But this one has no protection. And it's, you know, so we got these new ones and they got the silicone, but they are only 90%. The receiver area in this box is not protected, so you might want to check yours, because if you get it soaked, it could take you a couple of days to dry it out, because it is a foam. It's going to absorb that water and it's going to keep that moisture in there, and as long as that moisture is there, it'll keep it offline. Like I said, I was actually very impressed that after pulling that foam out of the way and heating it under the light, that it came back to life. So I would say this much, that don't depend on it being 100 proof waterproof. Okay, you're not going to submerge these things like you can with a Traxxas machine. They're not that water resistant, you know, but Traxxas's are. But this is certainly a really good improvement since we crabbed on the videos, and I'm not the only one who did. You know, because to me that's false and misleading advertising. If you're showing us on film you're driving it in a friggin' ocean and it still drives out again without a hassle, you know, I mean, so obviously something's happened to the good, because we now have a watertight servo here, it seems. But like I said, I'm only going to rely on the front half and the shell. This back end, I would still highly recommend getting that covered up to make sure no water can go in. You know, and you can easily dip that in plastic dip, holding it this way and just dip it that way and turn it over. You can actually paint on the plastic dip or liquid tape, whatever you need to do there to finish getting it 100%. And same with your receiver. You know, to get it finished off at 100%, you're going to want to get this receiver area definitely covered up, because that is not protected. So that's going to need to be covered. And then at that point you should be 100%. Now I know this servo, I've had this one, the front end off of it, so I already know that one's not even protected. But that's the way she goes. Anyway, guys, just wanted to give you that little update. And if you saw my other video today too about the ball bearings, how to install them, I take it for a drive and it's definitely a lot of improvements there. So kudos. So if you get a chance to upgrade your L959 to ball bearings, by all means, it is worth the 10 bucks for the bearing kit to do that. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to ask your questions, leave your comments, and we'll catch you on the video. And yep, I'm a half believer now, or 3/4 believer, because I know there's still going to be the back end here and that receiver that's still going to be a bit of an issue. But I got to give China the kudos, man. They're at least, you know, they're working towards this and doing a much better job. And that means that we can actually have more fun with our toys without killing so many parts now. So that's great. So we'll catch you in the next video.